I think the worst type of client is a client that's trying to prove a point instead of just seeking justice or wanting a positive outcome. Let's get into today's video, and I'm going to share the three different types of clients you're going to face and how to actually deal with each and every one of them. Let's go. If you're new here, Gamangu Asanda Landini, and I am an elected attorney and practicing in a litigation firm. From the intro, I indicated that I'm going to discuss the different types of clients. I'm going to start with the most dangerous client to deal with. A client that, number one, you've expressly stated the loopholes in their case, indicating their lack of prospects, if any, and they sign and say continue with litigation simply because, not because they have a case, but simply because they want to prove a point to the other side. And they tell you that money is not a problem, and they pay. They actually pay, even pay in advance. Those clients are the most dangerous to deal with because at the end of the day, when the matter is finalized and they realize they've just spent thousands of their money following something that they shouldn't have, or something that didn't give them any money or any gain, and they realize that, oh, this attorney has wasted my money, or this attorney has wasted my time, and they come back to you and say that. And those are the clients, because they are petty, because the inspiration for their litigation is pettiness. They will be petty to also go and lodge a complaint against you in the LPC saying that you didn't advise them properly or whatever the situation might be. This is what I would advise you to do and do very early in your career. Ensure that you put it in writing, reduce it in writing when you are getting, especially instructions such as those, to follow something that you see as being worthy of litigation, obviously following the law, the types of having grounds, cause of action, but not really worthy of litigation, can be resolved maybe by talking, or can be done with, you can look at what pursuing this thing. Have what we call a memorandum of advice written and ensure you give it to the client, expressly stating where do their case lags and why do you think they shouldn't follow litigation, and if they pursue to do so, indicate in that memo of advice that actually, if you are continuing, this is your decision. I will obviously pursue instructions because we are at the end of the day creatures of instructions, but our advice must be very clear. That way, even if they go to the national, not even national, they go to the president of South Africa and say you advise them properly. We have that in writing, signed, delivered, given to them, they understand it. That's your saving grace as an attorney. So practice this as you're an attorney. We used to do I used to work in a firm that worked with panels, and we used to do what we called a prospect of success report every time we get a file. And that's how I got to train myself in writing those, and we do that. And most of my thingies would be in the middle because you never know if you're going to succeed or not. So that's the first thing you do when you get that type of client. The second type of client that you're going to get is a client that wants justice, that believes that they deserve justice no matter what. That's another dangerous client, a client that believes that they were done wrong and everyone in the world must believe that they are done wrong. And if you come through and say, no, the law doesn't say this. For example, typical family matters like you are a sister and you've been taking care of your sister, and your sister passes away and you decide that you are entitled you are taking care or living with your sister, whatever the situation might have been, but you are basically a dependent of your sister, but your sister didn't have any children or had children and they died without a will, you would feel entitled to their portion of their estate when they are gone, and you proceed to take this matter to court. A reasonable attorney will tell you that you are not entitled to this in terms of interstate succession. The person that's entitled is their mother or their father. Only if those are not there and their children are not there, then only would you benefit. But that person feels so entitled to this, they want to prove a point. They come to you and say, I've been to attorney A and they told me I don't have prospect. I trust you, I've seen you do estate matters, for example, and I think you can assist me with this. And you take that matter, advise them the same way that against advice, they still want to have their day in court. That's the only way you save yourself. And then another one type of wanting justice and believing that they have justice. Typically, usually famous also amongst criminal matters. A person says, "I've seen you do maybe um, win this case for this particular person," and they don't know the facts of the case of the other person that maybe had you won their trial, you had their charges dismissed. They feel that you would be able to do the same thing. So even in that, put it in writing and make them understand how facts are different. Facts are distinguished between them and the case that you previously did, maybe for their brother, their sister. They say, "You've done this before. I think you can do it." Those people come through also as dangerous because they feel they are entitled to the success that you had before. So be careful of that. Again, my advice would be to safeguard yourself, put it in writing that this is not how it's going to be, and you safeguard yourself should anything happen. And then finally, the most, I wouldn't say dangerous, but hard clients to deal with are clients that have everything to lose should the case not be successful. Example, divorce client facing a chance of having 50% of their estate be taken by a husband that cheated on them, but they can't prove that. And they feel so frustrated because they know that this person lives with their new wife now, this girlfriend or wife, this person is going to waste their money away, this person is not going to maintain me in any way, and I have nothing. Or a person who was married out of community of property to a person that has money and they have no money, married out of community or property without a crew, and there's no way that you can save them besides trying to get maintenance for them. And those people want you to pull miracles that are impossible. And then another one would be a client that lost their job and feel that their life is dependent on you. Make it very clear that the law is the law. You don't make the decision. Even if you know that you are able to succeed in their case, there's reasonable prospect of success. But never say, "I'm going to win this for you." Always say that there's prospects of success. They are good, but obviously the law is the law, and I'm not the one who's presiding over the matter. Manage their expectations, because if you don't, you're going to come back with a client that's very disappointed, a client that's very frustrated, and that's a very dangerous client, especially if their lives or livelihood is on the line. You'd be the person that would take the fall, you'd be the person that would be blamed, and you could be messing with your livelihood by over exaggerating expectations, and they come back, go to your office and say, "She said she'll make it possible and she didn't, and I feel entitled to damages because I went with the illusion that everything is possible with her." So never uh, give an exaggeration of what you can do. Over deliver. That's my motto. Over deliver. Never give too much. Even when I know that there's prospect of success here, I always just downplay it because you never know. Like, we don't preside over matters. So make sure you do that. With that said, good luck, and please, especially when you're just entering the profession, Make sure that you safeguard yourself. Make it a habit very early. It will be second nature to you to say, always write down what prospects are. Always write things down. Always make sure that these things are communicated. With that said, I love you lots and have a blessed week, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.